welcome back. It's been a while. I think I posted this first video for this series in September of 2019, and this one is happening in June of 2020. So a bit more of a time lapse than I wanted between the videos, but there's been some things going on. I want to talk a little bit about that, not to get into everything that goes along with everything that's going on, but just to kind of remind myself, so I have documentation of what had happened, during this time period. Not that I'm going to really forget because it's been just nuts, but since September is when I finished my bug. This is a little video, a little preview of what it looks like. Eventually, you'll get to see it in all its glory. As far as the scooter goes, I've been having a blast on this. I have got to ride a lot, but outside of that, since September, some things happened. In October, my dad moved, and that went well. The move went well. So I spent a lot more time with my dad because he was a little bit closer and everything like that. Then he had an issue in November, had to have surgery, never quite eventually recovered from this surgery from November, and ended up passing away in March of 2020. So there's been that. A lot of my time was taken up hospital trips between November and March, and getting him moved into a nursing home and going to see him as much as often. So I really didn't worry about video logging too much. So that's where that part personally has been. Strangely enough, in 2020 also, there was some other significant happenings, to say the least. First, there was out of all the things that could have happened, there was a pandemic that happened, and we actually kind of globally shut down in March of 2020, and pretty much stayed shut down until closer into May. So a good couple of months where unemployment went up. I lost my job. I got my job back. We ended up working online, and then when it was time to go back in, I decided that I still didn't feel safe with the pandemic happened, because everything started to open up as we were still on an increase, and I decided that wasn't the best time for me to go back and be in a crowd full of people, guests, and everything like that. The thing is, it was some crazy times. We're having a whole transition period socially, in society and everything, and it's been a pretty interesting time. Ever since it's been going on, all I can say is, man, what a time to be alive. Unfortunately, my dad can't experience it, but not from this plane, but he can from the other side. So there's been a lot, but that's beyond that. Just wanted to kind of throw that out there and just kind of blog to myself and say, this is what's happened. This is why it's been so long since anything's happened for this. Most of the time was taken up, honestly, between November and March, just trying to take care of my dad, make sure he had the best care, visiting him in the hospital and rehab, and when that didn't work out, making sure he had a nursing home to go to and everything like that. So that's where that was at, and right about the time he passed away, then pandemic, global shutdown, and then a couple of months later, when everything was opening back up again, we had protests, racism, against systemic racism. There was a man killed, George Floyd, by a police officer up north, and it was not a pretty picture, and it looked intentional, and George Floyd had really no reason to be aggressively arrested, and that produced not only national protests but global protests. The U.S. U.S. Society and Black Lives Matter actually got support globally for police reform, systemic reform against racism and everything like that. So it's really kind of, like I said, it's just an interesting and amazing time to be alive right now, watching everything transition to new and different. How it turns out, yet to be seen. So while that's happening, I'm still out of a job, so I figured I might as well start in on this and see how that goes. That's where we're at. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. Just wanted to kind of clue you in. I know I said these are going to be random. I really didn't mean it was going to be this random.